ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to War for the Overworld. I am the Alchemical Rabbit, and today evil is good. If you do not know, I am a huge fan of the Dungeon Keeper franchise. I actually often cite it as one of the things that got me into game development in the first place. And unfortunately, there has never been a sequel to the Dungeon Keeper. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, had something stuck in my throat there. So yeah, there's never been a proper sequel to the Dungeon Keeper franchise. There was a Dungeon Keeper 3 teased, there was an MMO out of Korea talked about for what might have been China, I don't remember offhand right now. And we don't talk about the EA mobile game that came out. So we have War for the Overworld now in version 2.0, which we'll be exploring a little bit. Now, we're going to be beginning with the original campaign, just the straight-up War for the Overworld, the titular War for the Overworld, as it were. And without further ado, you know, I could introduce you to what exactly is going on here, but I think somebody with a slightly better voice should do that, don't you?
Now go!
Welcome back, Underlord. I must say, I wasn't expecting you quite so soon. The transference may have left you feeling a bit foggy in the head. Focus now. I'll try to ease you back into it. Fortunately, this does seem to get easier each time. This is your home realm, the source of your power, and the anchor that binds you to reality. Many years ago, it was destroyed, and you were cast out into formless nothing. Fortunately, you've returned from your exile to once again challenge those who would stand between us and the mortal realm of Kairos. Your resurrection heralds the next phase of our assault upon its wretched empire, now led by the newly crowned Emperor Lucius. But he is least and final of our worries. It's his generals and the protection of their goddess, Kira, that will truly test our mettle.
Kill the goddess, the generals,
Ready
and then the king.
yourself,
Got it.
Underlord. Let's begin our war for the Overworld.
Well, if you're going to drop the title like that, I suppose I have very little choice then, do I? Alright, well, we will begin with the first mission.
I've been looking for someone to spearhead my campaign. But before we get stuck in, let's refresh that old mind of yours.
Alright, now, I am not a super experienced player, but I have played War for the Overworld in the past, but for the sake of you all joining us today, let's play from the very beginning, shall we? Alright, now, in some cases, I am going to be going for the objectives, and in other cases, I may not if they are simply too big of a pain.
Welcome back, Underlord. It's been a long time since you were banished to the ether. You've returned as a husk of your former self, but I've taught far denser underlords than you. Let's start with the basics. This is your dungeon core. The tether that allows you to manifest your malignant will. If destroyed, your consciousness will once again be scattered to the void. Your workers are an extension of your dark will. They have many jobs, but their main focus is in carving out the halls of your dungeon. Put them to work by clicking and dragging your cursor upon the flashing tiles to tag them for excavation. Your workers will now rush forth to dig out and claim the tagged area. Once they have laid down the stones, marking the ground as your own, you will be able to build rooms upon the finished tiles. While your lackeys get to work, look to the east of your dungeon core. This is a gateway, one of the many portals that you'll use to attract minions to your dungeon. Order your workers to dig a path to it now.
Alright, yes, so I am...
Earth can be mined by your workers to create a dirt
He wants to start
which
today.
can then be claimed. Or the earth can be fortified to create a strong defensive barrier.
Of course. So, we're going to go ahead and start carving these things out right now. We're going ahead and getting 3 5x5 rooms. It's really more than we're going to need on this first mission, but when is overkill not fun? Alright, so we're just going to mine out a few different rooms where we can. I always like to start with a 3x3 first, because it helps me see what's in the immediate vicinity, such as over here where we have a little bit of a problem. I am going to go ahead and dig this space out. Now, as he just made the point, so what happens is, as you dig out these spaces, you get blank spaces that no one owns, and then your imps will run along and fart on it, and that will turn it into yours. And those of you who are thinking, well, that's a rather crude way to put that, Rabbit. If you had played the original Alchemical Rabbit, if you had played the original Dungeon Keeper, it's quite literally what they do. They jump up and down until a little cloud comes out. I don't know what it is. It's magic.
Now that you have a gateway,
I do have a gateway.
Minions can enter into your service.
Carve it out, make it nice and well
and rounded.
rounded.
Need to build the rooms necessary to entice them in.
Symmetry, always important
Start
in dungeon
by
design.
building a
Symmetry.
barracks. This room will allow your minions to hone their combat skills without the risk of permanent death or disfigurement. Select it and build it by clicking and dragging your hand across the claimed tiles. Most rooms must be built at least 3x3 in order to function properly, though the lair and vault are effective at any size.
Alright, so first things first is they want us to place a barracks, which is basically the bedroom for our troops. No, it isn't. A barracks is the training facility for our troops.
Has entered your dungeon.
AKA a goblin.
Attracted by the barracks, these green-skinned scrappers aren't quite right in their head, and they'll happily hack at your foes until someone is dead. Outside of combat, Gnarlings will train themselves within your barracks. You can pick them up with a click if you find them slouching off, then deposit them anywhere within your dungeon with a right click. For further entertainment, you can always put yourself directly into their head by casting possession upon them.
Alright, so our Gnarlings are now training. We do not have any other rooms available yet, so we can't even actually build a barracks yet, unfortunately. So as soon as we get enough Gnarlings, we will do that. Now the game does want us to possess a creature, so let's go ahead and show that off.
You can increase the efficiency of props within your rooms by fortifying the walls closest to the props.
Yes.
Workers will fortify walls automatically when they've completed all their other tasks. Now that you have some minions, you will need to cater for their basic needs. First, build a lair, so the pitiful little meat sacks can get some rest.
Very good. Alright, before I possess, I have to build a bedroom.
Well
there you guys
done.
go.
But see how your gold reserves have been depleted.
A tiny bit.
Command your workers to mine some of the nearby gold by tagging the gleaming tile.
Bro, I have mined all of the
Collect and
gold.
return gold to your dungeon coffers, allowing you to spend it on whatever your dark heart desires. Your core can store up to 16,000 gold pieces. But if that number sounds pitifully small, or if wealth inspires the evil in you, simply build a vault to store more. Now that you've got a bit of coin in your pocket, you can build a slaughter pan. This room produces scores of micro-piglets, a delicacy that will sustain the weak flesh of your minions by filling their bellies with succulent pig flesh.
Pig flesh. Alright, now let's take a look at possession very quick. So we have a Gnarling.
Don't worry, Underlord.
Oh.
You'll soon get used to this. Now you can control your minions' movement with the W, A, S, and D keys.
Okay, space
and
just
change their
does not
unique
jump.
quick bar abilities using the number keys. Left click to use their current ability. Push the escape key to end possession. Your dungeon has been breached. Cast Rally upon these spectres, and your minions will immediately sally forth to wreak bloody havoc. Your core is taking damage.
Alright, so while I was possessing the Gnarling, we saw there, I was actually able to train them. So I can go in, I can do any job that they do. I can train them, I can increase their level. Later in the game, I'll be able to do jobs for them, all kinds of fanciness.
Done. Now finish off the rest of these manifestations with a second rally flag.
We're just using the rally flag to bring our gnarlings up through and deal with the last of this tutorial. But yeah, possession, always a huge thing I've been a big fan of in these games. I think everybody has been.
Made short work
One thing I find interesting is they've definitely remodeled a lot of things since I played. Like, this targeting dummy is very different than it was the last time I played. So some updates have happened. It's been a while. I'm excited for this.
And tend their needs in a timely fashion. You can cast Recall upon a minion to immediately return them to your dungeon. Though if they are attacked as it channels, then the spell will fizzle into nothing.
Alright, now we can always cast Recall on things to bring it back. We'll do that just to show it off. What it does is it will immediately teleport the boy as soon as it's done back here. So he's good now.
My war for the Overworld.
So our gnarling units are looking pretty good. Already level 4, which is great.
A more fitting enemy.
Excellent, excellent. And that is it for the first mission, folks. A little simple.
Done, Underlord.
A little simple.
I see it's all coming back quite quickly. I expected nothing less, but there's much still to learn. Why don't we work in a bit of murder while we're at it?
Excellent.
It's time for you to enter the realm of Kairos.
Indeed it is, and we shall do that right now. So as you can see, we have already completed our home, so let's go visit the humans.
Now's the time for a bigger challenge. Before you lies an Imperial keep, guarded by a certain Lord Rusimov. He had a bit of an accident that melted most of his face, but he's no less vigilant a soldier. He's been sent to guard an object that could threaten our campaign. Get in there, and burn the rest of him, Underlord.
As you wish, of course. Alright, so our first actual attempt at fighting something that isn't a ghost.
We've punctured the veil of this world through a schism. A point of weakness in the bonds between realms. Unfortunately for us, the Empire has crafted defenses to keep us from the heart of their kingdom. These inhibitors prevent Underlords from trespass. But whether it's bone or stone, it can be broken. I suspect that this Empire force has yet to taste true battle. But before you go engaging them, you'll need to muster up some minions. Unfortunately for me, your time in the ether has left you a weak husk of your former self. In order to reacquire your powers, you will need to access the veins of evil. Open them now, and use a sin to unlock the archive.
Alright, so unlike Dungeon Keeper, in War for the Overworld, all buildings and such are done, or unlocked, excuse me, via the Veins of Sin, which are basically skill trees. As you can see, we have our first point, we earn points by gaining experience, and we're going to go ahead and unlock the archive.
Archive unlocked. This room will allow your minions to research additional sins, which can be spent to recover your lost powers. Build one now, to begin researching additional sins.
Alright, so now that I've let my imps through and they've started carving out some space, I can see there are a number of cave systems through this region. I will use them to the best of my ability. The first thing we're going to do is try and build up as much of a initial fortress as we can.
Objectives in a specific area. Place a worker rally banner in that location.
Now we can see over here we have claimed
Build an archive, Underlord.
I will, thank you.
Your powers are far more impressive than those you currently wield.
Calm down. So we have this watchtower, so that will give us better line of sight on the region, and also reveal a bunch of gold that we can mine out. So we're going to do that, definitely. You then see down here there's some more space, so we'll dig that out. and then we will start to investigate the rest. Now, we can't create more imps yet. Soon we'll be able to have a larger imp population. And once we have those, we can sort of deal with things a little bit better. Once again, continue to mine right now. Now, right now it's okay to be mining all this gold because it'll just sit around on our floors, and we're not really worried about anybody taking it. Maybe in later games when there's enemy imps or dwarves running around and we don't want them to take the gold, we'll be a little more cautious about it. For right now, it's okay, though. Because our treasury is full, the imps won't actually take gold back, and it's actually making the imps work just more efficiently, because otherwise they'd be picking up gold, running it back, and then getting distracted from their actual digging duties. So we can see that that will be cleared up soon. I think what we're going to do is probably put a treasury there. Continue to investigate whatever the heck that section is about. And yeah, pretty much just make a couple of 5x5s where it makes sense, like right here. So we'll place that, make sure it gets all connected up. It's more rooms than we even need, so not too worried about it. This is going to be another 5x5. We'll just cut it out like so. That'll hook us up into the portal area. Yeah, because this area is pretty much secured. We have clear line of sight over here. Yeah, just let the imps... Now, speaking of the imps and the jobs they can do, can we do this a little bit faster? Seemingly not, actually. Oh, it's right-click. Okay, so if I right-click once, I start dancing. I need to hold it. So I need to... Okay, so I rapidly right-click, and I can start possessing the room myself. Interesting. Okay, so unlike in Dungeon Keeper 1, so Dungeon Keeper 1 had the most broken version of this ever made. In Dungeon Keeper 1, when you possessed an imp and you just click the mouse once, it would actually possess the tiles, so you could sprint down hallways just claiming everything way faster than your imps ever could. Now it looks like we're actually slowed down to their speed. However, we can see in the upper gauges that we are gaining experience from doing this. We are helping this boy out. So if we finish this, get him to level 2, and probably wrap it up. Now we can also like dig up walls and actually shape our dungeon if we want. I'm not going to do that in worker form because it's a lot less efficient, but it is an option. Also, I just like the way, like, we'll do more exploration of the dungeons later. Just love how the game looks in the first-person view. It's so rare that you get to do both. Alright, now we're level 1. So we can sort of look around and sort of see, like, there's our dungeon heart. Here's our many piles of monies. There's one of our other imp friends. It's all good. Alright, so now that that is done, I think... Yep, so that room could not be completed. That's okay. Let's just continue to mine out the gold. And now, let's actually do what the mission wants us to do, which is to beat it. Place that. Place that. And then we will also place the train. Nope, we won't place training quite yet. Let's go ahead and pick up all that gold. We can drop it off ourselves, which will help things out quite a bit. We're just going to throw a quick bit of money down there. Now you'll notice the gauge itself at the top of the screen now looks smaller, but we do actually have more money. It's because it's all proportional to how much we can store. So I'm just going to grab the last of this. They are looking good on the micro piglets. No more chickens, unfortunately. No chicken harvests like there were back in Dungeon Keeper. Grab all of those, and we are looking snug. Just put it there as an extra pile of gold. Alright, training room. Okay, that'll get us our gnarlings in. Now, the only unfortunate thing is that as of right now, we are missing the library they wanted us to build. But I think we have room.
A gnarling has entered your dungeon.
2, 3. Where can we place it? Because unfortunately we do want walls, so some placement here is not ideal for us. No. Okay, so what we're going to do is put replacement earth there, and we are going to go ahead and put a relatively small archive. Is an archive big enough for 2? Should be good enough. Once we complete this, it'll help the walls secure up. So that's all of the mining we can realistically do. I'm not going to spend too much on replacement earth.
A cultist
Hello.
has found its way into your dungeon.
Oh, good entrance.
attracted by the magical tomes within your archive. These minions will spend most of their time researching sins for you. Though they are weak combatants, they have the power to curse your foes, making them weak to your other minions' blows.
Excellent. So we have our researchers. Now, they will research and create sins of evil for us. I said it was experience before. That was a complete and utter lie. It is by doing research in the library that we gain new sins. Yes. Now, I am continuing to mine out this path in the hopes that it shows me like a back entrance into their keep, so I don't have to go straight through their guarded section. I'm going to try and sweep around the back, if that makes any sense. Now we are going to grab you two, drop you there. We're going to grab the other two and make sure they are placed here. There we go, new tunnel. So, yeah, so you can see at the gauge at the top, we are building up sin. We're even going to slap these guys, get them moving a little bit faster. Alright, research a little faster, boys.
I never get hungry.
There you go, perfect, perfect. Yes, minions, when they're working in the areas that they want to work in, don't tend to get as hungry as they would be otherwise. Now we've unlocked a new sin. So we've unlocked the tavern.
This room provides your minions with succulent cooked pig flesh and stout ale.
Succulent cooked pig flesh.
After eating a meal within its hearthed halls, their spirits will be raised, increasing their productivity for a short time.
Alright, to that end, we're going to turn off of that. We are actually... Let's see... We're going to create sort of a weird-looking room over here. That's going to be the plan. We'll come in here. We'll even unlock that. Now we have, at that point, we can feed
your
people.
Minions fed. As they increase in level, they will eventually rebel if there is no tavern to sate their hunger. Build one now, and remember that the tavern is unique and must be built at least 3 by 5 in order to be effective.
Alright, to that end, we're going to use this section over here to build a tavern. Sort of a weird shape, but you know what? It helps build character. Place that, just to sort of square this off here in a minute. We'll get here and immediately go like so. Only one table. Only one table.
It is payday.
We will tear this out. I think I can put another table
in
over
order
here.
to keep your tavern stocked. But in a pinch, you can always drop some alternative meat into the grinder.
Into the grinder.
Rooms will only attract a certain number of minions before becoming full. In order to attract more, you'll need to expand them.
Yep, so for example, I've only attracted 2 cultists because I only have 2 desks. I've attracted 4
Nothing
gnarlings
in this life is
because I have
free,
4
Underlord,
posts.
and you'll regularly need to pay your minions for their hard work. Be sure to keep an eye on your reserves, for if you've not enough gold for their wages, they'll be swift to find gainful employment elsewhere. Fortunately, your minions will return some of their earnings by buying meals within your own tavern. What a delicious arrangement.
Excellent. So the tavern is operational. Everything else seems to be pretty operational. We have another Sin of Evil. We're going to get Prophecy as a spell. Prophecy lets us actually explore the map, as we can see there. You can sort of see as we scan around, not a whole lot else we can really do on this map.
Replacement Earth complete.
So what we are going to do is sort of scout around.
Scouts, go find what the hell's making all that racket.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Rally your minions to defeat these scouts once they breach your dungeon. Let's keep Sarusimov in the dark a little while longer.
Alright, so
You
they're
should
going
try
to send
using the
these
lightning
dwarves.
and heal spells to assist your
Okay,
minions
we
in
cannot
combat.
target lightning on enemy spaces. That makes sense. We can only target it on our own land. Which is fine, which is fine. Let's go ahead and get this odd little item that we found out in the caves identified. This will give us some kind of bonus that will help us in the rest of the level. Now let's go ahead and grab some of those gnarlings and let's just deal with them really fast. They are running from the gnarlings, but we can just zap them dead. Perfect. Okay. So just a little bit of lightning will be more than enough to deal with at least a few
The
dwarves.
health of minions is
Now,
represented
what
by
about
petals surrounding their
these
unique shield.
guys? Also, don't
Once
die.
no petals remain, a creature will
Okay, so
fall
3 or 4
unconscious
shots,
soon
and I can
die,
drop them. Not too bad,
unless
not too
returned
bad.
to its lair to recover.
They should be back by now. Ugh. Bar the doors. We wait for
Ah,
reinforcements.
more gold. It's just a
Look
big
how
thing
easily
of
your
gold.
minions cut down these sappers. If I didn't know better,
I'm gonna get the cultists
I'd say
trained
the
up a little bit.
Empire is woefully unprepared.
Oh, what a
To
pity
have your
for them.
minions ignore rally flags and remain focused on their current objectives, you can assign them to the Peace Band. Once minions are rested, you can leave them to their work or force them to train by dropping them in a barracks.
Alright, so the cultists are now training because there's actually nothing more for them to research. I have a sin, but I can't unlock anything. So they are done. If I can get them to level 2 or 3 just to get some of their initial spells activated, that would be great. And this guy's about 3/4 of the way there. We can even go in, and yes, I just saw that we actually have our the third cultist in now. So as we can see, cultists can't really see vision, but if I rapidly click, I can help them build their XP substantially faster. You see the number just goes up. Let's see, if I have to click it. I can't hold it, I can't do anything else. But I can rapidly fast, so this is a decent method to level them up. I'm gonna get to it. I am busy training the unspoken cultist. Show some damn, like, civility, man. We are training, we are teaching, this is getting hands-on with our men, this is inspiring confidence, this is making us one of them. They will never listen to us otherwise. Alright, and now he is a level 3 cultist, so we'll pull him back. We can see he's doing quite well for himself. We can see the other cultist is working on it. He has been inspired by seeing the other cultist. We are just going to sort of hack our way through all this. Alright, now at this point, we in fact do have more than enough units to, I think, win this. So we're going to grab everybody.
If any of your
Like
minions
so.
fall in combat, your workers will attempt to
And,
rescue
alright,
them
so
and return
let's
them to
break
their
these
lair,
doors down and
where
charge
they may
on in.
rest and recover.
The enemy have
Hell,
breached the
let's go
damn
ahead
walls.
and find a
Steel
decent
yourselves,
one. There's a level
lads.
3 goblin boy. Gnarling, whatever. Let's get in there. Let's see. Just gonna stab her a bit. Alright, she's dead. What else do we have? Alright, now he's locked behind that door, so I'm not sure we're actually gonna see that. We're gonna smash this door really fast. Alright, now cut down that cleric. Holy man, do I look like a zombie to you? I think not. You are dead now. Yes, and see, I am still gaining large amounts of XP every time I swing into this guy. So we are still working out fine. Very good. He is now dead. Bring the doors down, please. See the health of the door above the door there. It's a little hard to see because Gnarlings don't have the best vision. I mean, you can see it. Also, can we, like, steal gold? Because that would be amazing. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pop out of here because we know we need to continue the assault. Looking pretty good so far. Make sure everybody is all healed up. They are. See, our entire army is healed. We have claimed this treasury along with this lair room. So we are doing fine. Go ahead and grab another fancy piglet pen. See where it goes from there. Charge on through, boys. Bring down their heart. It's a level 3 champion. I'm not super concerned. Get in there. Drop it quick. No one needs healing? No one gets a heal because everyone is at full health. Okay. Now you're not. He just swang into you. Swang into you. He just swung into you. He's already dead.
The light is gone.
Is that the greatest that the light and Kira and humanity and goodness can rally?
Charitable to put him out of his misery.
Pitiful.
Well done, Underlord.
Dang.
You're learning much faster this time.
Of course I am. All right.
You've barely even
Excellent.
started, and you
Yes.
already have a notch on your belt. Well done, Underlord. But there's no rest for the wicked. 2 inhibitors still stand between us and the mainland. But after your butchery of poor Lord Rusimov, I doubt they'll be as weakly defended.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for part 1 of War for the Overworld. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. I have been the Alchemical Rabbit, and thank you for joining me.